This what happens when you don't think, when you act like you ain't human, like you won't bleed. And it's the message that they don't preach. Don't get mad, just pray for me. Just pray for me. I seen this young girl walking through my complex. She's someone's daughter, but to me, she's just the object. She makes my heart start to pound and my palms sweat. I said, mommy, shake that thing like the song says. She turned around in the heat of the moment. I put my hands in my back pocket, reach for the Trojan. That's when she smiled and she hollered at me. I'm feeling good, something like a Rottweiler in heat. And so I asked her, what's good, what's jumping tonight? She said, a party at my friend's house, come if you like. I'm like, cool, I'ma come by 10. But I showed up about 12, cause I knew she'd be drunk by then. So I stepped up in the house, like, come on girl, let's get it crackin'. Took her to the bedroom, listen, this what happened. We had sex until the sun came up, but the next day something came up. Man, I wasn't feeling right, and so I had to get tested. Standing in the doctor's office like, man, I'm stressing. I'm still trying to figure out how to handle his message. He said I got an STD, and she pregnant. This what happens when you don't think, when you act like you ain't human, like you won't bleed. And it's the message that they don't preach. Don't get mad, just pray for me. Just pray for me. This what happens when you don't think, when you act like you ain't human, like you won't bleed. And it's the message that they don't preach. Don't get mad, just pray for me. Just pray for me. Man, in high school, I had a best friend by the name of Gordon. He had a baby face, the girls used to say he's gorgeous. It was polygamy, the way he used to lay with Mormons, whispering in their ear until they bought his favorite Jordans. Man, I'm saying he would take advantage, then sit back and watch the whole thing on the tape and camera. He would ask who's next, and they would raise their hands up. I guess his belt ain't fit him, he couldn't keep his pants up. One day this girl came by when we were smoking trees. She talked a lot of game and it got on both her knees. She did some things, some of which I am not saying. Save the details, let's just say that she was not praying. We never took the time to think about her feelings much. In our mind, we were men and she was still a slut. We never knew her pain to her when she was crying out. She hung herself from a tree right behind the house. A lot of people would say, at least you didn't hurt her. But I believe in God's eyes, we committed murder. I think about her when I'm driving through that part of town. I found Jesus, I'm just praying for my daughter now. This what happens when you don't think, when you act like you ain't human, like you won't bleed. And it's the message that they don't preach. Don't get mad, just pray for me. Just pray for me. This what happens when you don't think, when you act like you ain't human, like you won't bleed. And it's the message that they don't preach. Don't get mad, just pray for me. Just pray for me. In the United States of America, 1 out of 4 students graduates with an STD. 1 out of 3 will have an STD by the age of 24. 50 million Americans have herpes right now. That's 1 in 5 ages 12 and over. 75% of sexually active people will get HPV at some point in their life. This is the #1 cause of cervical cancer in women. And we get mad at God because he asked us to wait until marriage. Hey, maybe this whole time he knew something we didn't. And by the way, if you a virgin, do your thing, girl. If you not, it's never too late to do what's right. Follow God. Wait for your man, girl. Wait for your girl, mama.